So really quick, I just want to reenact for you my reaction to this movie in 2013. Man, I'm so bored. There's just nothing to do right now. I guess the new Hunger Games movie came out tonight. What the hell? Yeah, I'll go see it. I like the first one enough. One viewing later. Holy crap! Hunger Games Catching Fire is the sequel to the very successful Hunger Games that came out in 2012. Stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Sam Claflin, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Woody Harrelson, and it's directed by Francis Lawrence. This movie takes place a few months after the first Hunger Games, where Katniss and Peeta are really feeling the pressures from the Capitol, because President Snow is not happy that they both survived the Hunger Games. Because Katniss was defiant and didn't die or wasn't willing to kill Peeta, it has incited a rebellion amongst the districts, and President Snow is trying to quell it by blackmailing Katniss and saying she better convince everyone that this was all legit, true love, or he'll go after her family and Peeta's family. She does her best, but she doesn't quite convince Snow, so through a loophole, he ends up putting her in the next Hunger Games, which is called the Quarter Quill. And she's put in a dangerous situation where she has to fight to survive. So once again, she's put in another dangerous situation where she has to fight for survival. So once again, she's put in a dangerous situation where she has to fight for survival. This movie replaces Gary Ross with Francis Lawrence as director, and I really like Francis Lawrence's other work. He did I Am Legend, which is a fantastic zombie movie starring Will Smith. He also did Constantine, which is actually an underrated comic book movie. So I was really interested when I found out that he was going to come and direct the next Hunger Games movie. Honestly, he does a great job here. I love the new direction that this movie has taken. It looks more gritty in this one. The first movie, even though it was supposed to be set in a horrible dystopian futuristic society, didn't really feel that gritty at times. It felt a little too clean. But Catching Fire kind of fixes that and gives it a bit more of a grit to it, which I really like. I like the cinematography better in this one. It just looks a better movie. And a nice thing is, no shaky cam. One of my biggest problems with the first one was the shaky cam. That is absolutely gone from this movie, and it is fantastic to see that. The action in this movie is really well directed. He did a fantastic job keeping it suspenseful and really keeping me engaged. I really get into this movie. There are scenes where I'm really actually worried for these characters. The writing and the pacing is also better. This movie flows way better than the first one. I get to know more of the side characters, like some of the other tributes when we get to the Quarter Quill. They're really interesting characters, too. Also, a cool part of the Quarter Quill in this one, you actually have to have allies. That's actually mandatory pretty much for the game if you want to survive. Whereas the first one, it was sort of a go on your own and try to survive, wait everyone out, or whatever you gotta do. This one, it's like you gotta rely on each other for survival because it's not just the other people in this game. There's other elements that the games makers have put in. One of the best scenes in this movie is when this fog in the games comes down from the hills that attacks Katniss, Peeta, and two of the other characters, one of which I'll talk about later. And it's this poisonous fog that gives you like boils and stuff, but if it gets all over you, you die basically. And that's a fantastic suspenseful scene. The only way to make it better would have been putting a John Carpenter score and having ghosts come out of the fog. Donald Sutherland as President Snow, awesome. He's a great actor, and that's a really good villain. You always get the feeling like there's just this presence around the Capitol. There's always this presence of Donald Sutherland watching Katniss. Every move she makes, waiting for her to slip up so he has an excuse, basically, to kill her or her family. So well done. Great acting and great writing put into that character. I also like that we get to see more of the other districts in this one, and that there's a rebellion starting. You get to see the starts of the seeds developing throughout this movie. Little bit in the first one, but not that much. You have two new characters in this movie who are very fascinating to watch act. One of them is Finnick. For the longest time throughout the movie, you don't know if he's going to be an ally to Katniss or a traitor, because he does ally himself in the games, but you're still not sure. Just by the way he acts and even talks. You know, he talks in that dry way that most villains talk, which is a great choice because it makes the audience, like me, wonder if maybe they're a villain or maybe they're not. Because they do stuff to show that they aren't, but you still wonder, it's still right on that line for a lot of it. So you don't know if he's going to turn on Katniss and Peeta. Philip Seymour Hoffman's another great actor in this movie, and I can't really talk much more about it beyond that without spoiling anything, but let's just be known, he's amazing in this movie. All in all, this is a much, much better movie than the first one. by leaps and bounds better than the first one. I really enjoyed this movie. I saw it twice in theaters when it came out. This movie made me a fan of the Hunger Games, and I'm going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my reviews of Mockingjay Part 1 and Mockingjay Part 2 that will be coming out very soon. See ya.